Hello? There we go. 5 years. Put the mask back on, start over. Should I just say the first joke over again? Great. Fantastic. Wait. Hello, and again. My name is August Ansley, and this is the Antifa training video. Joke works even better the second time. No, this is the first social distance session show, ZACC Showcase, Comedy Showcase. It has a name, I know it, it's just not in my brain right now. Also, if you would like to give money, please do that. They're accepting donations on the event page on the Zootown Arts Community Center Facebook page, and also the events page on the Zootown Arts Community Center website. You can also go to the website givebutter.com/D87PD3. 30% of whatever we make tonight will go to the ZACC, because they do need to make money. 70% will go to the Black Lives Matter movement. So I do have my notes here because I did stand up one other time in the past 6 months. So the other show I did was at a winery where Sarah Aswell hosted. She backed out of this show, so. She had mentioned when she started that show that in order to do a safe coronavirus social distance type show, you have to break almost every rule of stand-up. I'd like to add to that by saying you have to add rules also, which sucks. There's so many rules. They have marked 15 feet in front of the stage. No one can go past that. It's like I farted and everyone wants to stay away from the cloud. Also, when everyone is off stage, they have to be wearing a mask, like they farted and they don't want people to smell it. But yeah, don't worry, if you hear muffled laughter, that's just because they're wearing a mask. If you at home hear muffled screams, please check your basement. They also have to stay 15 feet away from each other. No, sorry, 6 feet away from each other. 15 feet, keep adding, 25 feet away from each other. They have to stay 60 feet away from each other. And it's like they're staying 6 feet away from each other like they farted and they don't want anybody to smell it. That's 3 fart jokes in the first 5 minutes. I know, we have hit the quota for tonight, so nobody else. Checking my notes. There are benefits of not having a live audience, though. Like my hair not doing what I want it to. No one in the audience can judge me except for these people. One of those benefits is that there are no drunk hecklers in the audience, which is really great. I mean, maybe there is at home, but I will never know, unless you comment on the video that you're watching right now that you are drunk at home and yelling at the TV, which is my Wednesday nights. I kind of miss the drunk hecklers. Michaela, could you start drinking right now? And then, okay. She's not busy. Another benefit of not having a live audience is after I make a dick joke, I won't make awkward eye contact with the old lady in the front row. I'll just offend the old ladies at home. I've already done 3 fart jokes. There are no dick jokes in this set. A benefit for the audience at home is that you don't have to pity laugh if you don't find a joke funny. Yeah, I mean, you can if you want to, but there's no point. You can, if you want to, you can do that thing where you just breathe out your nose when you find something funny. So this year, I'm just going to assume that Corona will last the rest of the year, rest of the 2 years. This year, the coronavirus will be blamed for ruining Christmas instead of me. Being my crazy leftist views, making grandma cry. She's probably watching, actually. It's fine, don't make her cry. The last show I actually did before the pandemic was a improv open mic that I hosted. But afterwards, I was talking to somebody, and I mentioned that I wanted to take a break from doing stand-up, because I had been doing 4 shows a month, maybe more, and that's a lot for me, because I like to be home. And then the pandemic happened, so I'm sorry for causing the coronavirus. That was a joke. I have been working on a cure, though, since it is my fault. So far, I've got making TikTok videos and watching Lord of the Rings 5 times. It's not going great so far. I am still trying to date. For some reason, I'm still on Tinder. And it's become even harder to date anybody or even talk to people on dating sites because I'm always home. I'm not doing anything, so I have nothing to talk about. As opposed to before the pandemic when I was always home and never doing anything, so I had nothing to talk about. I don't even know what you would do to end a first date right now. I have hair in my mouth, it's fine. I don't know what you would do to end a first date with the whole pandemic going on. Wearing a face mask and staying 6 feet apart from your date kind of takes the romance out of everything. I don't know, how would you end that date? Just fist bump your partner? If only the coronavirus was around when I was in the 8th grade. Because I fist bumped somebody at the end of a date in the 8th grade. I did lose my job because of the coronavirus. I quit, but they told me I was an essential worker and I disagreed. I'm an essential worker again now because no money. I work for the census, so you might see me in your house in 2 ways, eventually, if you're watching this in Missoula, or I might just come into your house. They always say, do what you are good at and money will follow. I'm really good at having a 5-minute attention span. There's no punchline there. It's just, I have a 5-minute attention span. ADD is fun. I had an idea for a website. Maybe I could make money off of that. It was for people who are like super fans of something. Like you can only like, people who say like, you can only like 21 Pilots if you know 3 of their songs. Or you can only like Supernatural if you know these facts about Supernatural. Anyway, it's going to be called OnlyFans. Recently, my roommates and I went on a road trip to Spokane. It was a quick, like, in and out road trip. We went to Spokane. We bought weed, and on the way there, we saw a sign that said "click it or ticket," and I have seen that sign before, but it got me thinking, the guy who coined that phrase, "click it or ticket," did he go through any other phrases before landing that one? Clack it or smack it. Or snap it or trap it. Or buckle up or fuck you. Sorry if there's any children watching. I also saw one that said buckle up or it'll hurt. I did, and I know that it means that, like, buckle up or you might get in a car accident, you might die. What I took it as is buckle up or I will hunt you down and beat the crap out of you. I also heard a ad on the radio describe a beer as the champagne of beers. And to me, that just sounds like the gross drinks of gross drinks. I did not think of a good way to end this set, so I will do my only impression that I have, just because the first person I did this for is sitting over there. So, was in the crowd when I did it, but he's still here. So, I can do one impression really well. It is Ray Romano doing an impression of Kermit the Frog ordering a Subway sandwich. Lettuce. Pickles. I can do 3 impressions and they're all the same voice. Ray Romano. Deborah. Kermit the Frog. It's not easy being green. And Marvin the Martian. Marvin the Martian. It's the same voice 3 times. I can also do Scooby-Doo playing Batman, but that is horrifying and way too loud for this microphone, so I'm not going to do that. Instead, I will direct you to our first comedian of the night. She is either hosting or co-hosting the next comedy thing that's happening next month. It's a nerd show showing up at this mic right over here. It's Amy Smith.
I'm going to steal your stool and not your brown stool. That was just a poop joke. Yes, it's good to be here. I feel like my fly might be down, and this is on video. So just give me a heads up if something like that happens, please. Yeah, it's actually really awesome to be in public. That's like a big deal. But I feel like with all of COVID, especially shelter in place, it wasn't mostly the public that I missed, it was more traffic that I missed. Yeah, I really missed getting angry in traffic and yelling at people. It was actually kind of depressing for me. So I decided that instead of yelling at people about their crappy driving skills, I would yell at people about their crappy walking skills. Yeah. That's what I would do. I would stand on my front porch, and as people walked by, I would just yell at them. I'd be like, "Hey, what the hell are you doing? Ugh. What? Oh my God, go back to where you came from. Where'd you learn to walk? Ugh. Yeah, get off the sidewalk." Yeah, I didn't make a lot of friends at that time, but yeah, that's fine because I couldn't hang out with them anyway, so I survived. Something else that I noticed at that time is that I really wanted to pick my nose. Like, once I was told I couldn't touch my face, I realized I was a nose picker, and probably a lifelong nose picker, to the point that I'd have dreams about it, yeah. And I would just dream of the day that I would finally be able to be in a park in the public with like my finger straight up my nostril, all the way to the knuckle, just staring at people without shame. Yeah, that dream may come true one day. We'll see. I do have a teenage son, and it's really difficult because I don't know if he's being, careful social distancing when I'm not around. So I thought I would invent a body spray for him. It's called Quarantine Spirit. Yeah. And it just smells awful. Yeah. It smells like dead fish, old farts. And have you guys ever had white cheddar Cheez-Its before? Yeah, they smell like vomit. And like teacher breath and bong breath all mixed together. But yeah, it worked. He's now officially quarantined. And I'll be selling some after the show, if you're all interested, for you 5 people. Yeah, did you guys notice that everyone all of a sudden became a master in something once COVID happened? Like master, bread maker, master beer maker, master baiter. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sure there was a lot of those. But like also, crafts, arts. And I actually just really struggled with that. So I decided instead to cut my bangs, which I've been living with that nightmare for the last 6 months. It's like a really bad memory on my face. But I also decided to become a rap star during COVID. So do you guys want to hear one of my raps? All right. Okay. Usually people say no, so this is pretty cool. All right, I need to lay down a sick beat. Can anyone do that for me? Probably not. Okay, let's go. Yo, yo, yo. Sitting on my porch on COVID days, waving at my neighbors drinking IPAs, Instagram, Facebook, lots of Twitter, 99 Zoom calls from my sister. Got my mask in my pocket, sanitizer in the car. It's time to go to the grocery store. It's on my calendar. Dar. Oh, that's my beatboxing skills. All right. Yeah, thanks, guys. That'll never happen again. All right, so did you guys feel that during this time with your family you strengthened family bonds? Anybody? Yeah, me too. I actually weakened family bonds. That was kind of what happened. And I realized because I would hang out with them and I'd have to hear them talk, and that kind of got old. And then it was, breathing. But eventually it was chewing food. That became a problem for me. And that actually bothered me when I would chew food. My son, he would eat like a bag of Cheetos, like a maniac. He'd actually eat him like a beaver, so I'd have to punch the bag out of his hand. But it's pretty gross. And suck his Cheeto fingers, disgusting. But I'm like no angel. I bother myself when I chew food. It's really bad. I'll chow down like a plate of tater tots, like how Cookie Monster chows down crack, cocaine. Butt crack. It's pretty gross. So I also noticed during this time that, everyone's wearing masks, but no one's wearing pants. That seems to be the consensus for COVID. But we finally did get men to wear masks. People were always saying, men don't want to wear masks, but now they are. And I thought, well, if they're willing to wear masks, then they should be willing to wear bras on their balls. That should be a new thing, and I call them ball bras. Yeah, they should wear ball bras, and basically, bras were invented to make boobs fashionable. It's time to make balls fashionable. Something lacy, peekaboo cleavage, anything to make them not functional, what they're intended to do, let's just say that. And if you have a sporty ball, that's fine. You could wear like a sports ball bra, and you'll have like a uniball. That's cool. Just do what you need to do. And if you truly don't even want to wear a ball bra, then you can go and get a ball job and just make your balls perky for everybody. And then men can come home from work and they could take one ball bra strap from one pant leg and another ball bra strap from the other pant leg and like fling their ball bra across the room and just lay on the couch and give up for the day. Get on Facebook and be like, hashtag just took off my ball bra, gonna hang out and watch Deep Space Nine all night. That's a possibility. And, there'll be a fancy place where you can buy these ball bras. And it'll be called Gary's Secret. Yeah, it'll be great. Like, you go in there and there's all these bedazzled ball bras. And Gary's Secret will have an amazing fashion show where these men will walk down the runway with like bejeweled ball bras. And they'll have feathers coming out of their butt. And it'll be glorious. And then they'll sell like ball bra catalogs, and ladies will take them to the bathroom to hang out by themselves for a while. Yeah, so, and I could tell by all of your reactions, especially you reading your notes, that you are not turned on by the ball bras, but. But I know what actually will make all of you horny, and that's the Great British Baking Show. Have any of you seen that? You have? I could tell, because you look really horny right now. Yeah. Yeah, it's just, they're so, kinky on the show, like the way that they speak. There's the two old ladies, and they'll say things like, you have 1 minute to get your tarts off, and I don't want to see any soggy bottoms. It's like, wow, you're giving me a time frame? This is working for me. Thanks, old lady. And then there's, Paul Hollywood. I call him the silver fox. He's always like licking cake knives. He has cream all over his face. He's squeezing muffins, and he'll say things like, it all comes down to how they blitz their bunts. And yeah, truly it does, Paul. I can vouch for that. But the best is Mel and Sue. They are my favorite, and they definitely are the horniest. Sue had a technical challenge, and she's like, all right, for today's technical challenge, we're going to make Mary's cherry cake. So I want you to put your cakes in the oven, and let's see if we can pop Mary's cherry. Yeah. Consider me popped. Hashtag took off my bra, laying on the couch, masturbating to the Great British Baking Show. All right, thank you so much. My name's Amy. Have a good night.
Yeah. Give it up for Amy. That was great. Yeah. When she said we're wearing masks but not pants, I legitimately had to look down. So I don't think I checked before I left out my house. I usually don't anyway. I've been striking out. So our next comedian will also be here next month for the Nerd Show. He also has something in Onishi Press. I should have asked you before that.
Onishi Press Anthology 10, the Kickstarter we done, yeah.
Yeah, Anthology 10, it's a graphic novel. James Johnson, everybody.
Thank you, August. Give it up for August. Yeah, for hosting. To me, August is the epitome of the song Don't Stop Believin'. The smell of wine and cheap perfume. My name is James Johnson. It's a thrill to be back on stage doing comedy with all my friends, and this is great. I've been doing stand-up for about 4 years now, and you may wonder why I got into stand-up so late in life, and I can tell you it is not a midlife crisis, because I did the math, and I passed midlife about 20 years ago when I turned 25. It was like birth, 25, 50, don't get your hopes up. But I've been having a great time doing stand-up. I made so many good friends. That's one of my favorite things about doing it. What we used to do in the before time was get together with a union club on Thursday nights. We called it Posse Night. We'd all sit around this big round table and just talk. And I got to wondering, what is this table used for the other nights of the week? So I came back the next night, and it was ninjas. I couldn't see anybody there, and I was like, whoa, these guys are good. I came in the next night, and it was clowns. And I said, wow, I've never seen this many clowns at the bar before. And one of them stood up and said, we're not clowns, we're juggalos. I said, calm down, Amy Smith. I didn't recognize you with all that makeup on. And she said, it's not makeup, it's a lifestyle. I went in the next night, and it was pirates. Real pirates. And what amazed me about it was they weren't drinking rum. They were drinking PBR. Did I mention I've been doing stand-up for 4 years? It took me 4 years to write that joke. I don't think I'm getting any better at it. Have you seen our new official Montana state license plates? They're yellow. They've got the snake on them. They say, don't tread on me. I think the next step will be we'll change our state motto from the big sky country to the south of the north. Calm down, I can say that. I'm from here. I grew up in Lincoln. One time I was doing a show in Great Falls, and I mentioned that I was from Lincoln. And the people applauded, and I said, oh yeah, you're just clapping because you had cabins there. I didn't get to leave. But I've lived here all my life, and I just wonder, when did all the buffalo get together and decide that they now start identifying as bison? Because, there's some other things that people say to let you know that they're not from Montana. You know, it's not a creek, it's a crick. It's not Thomas Meager, it's Thomas Marr. It's not a coyote, it's a coyote. And if anybody uses the word Montucky, you know that dude's from Colorado or Oregon. Speaking of, Montana, it's a beautiful state, but the eastern part of the state it's really flat. I mean, back there, the ground is so flat, the kids don't even play hide and seek. They just play pointing. Speaking of flat Earth, this is true. There is a television production company that wants to make a reality show where people who believe that the Earth is flat earthers, go out in search of the edge of the world. Or as Betsy DeVos calls it, AP Geography. But yeah, there's a lot of new technology that I don't trust, like self-driving cars. There is no way that I'm taking my hands off of the wheel in traffic unless I'm trying to put hot sauce on a taco. I saw a pharmaceutical ad. It said, if you tell your doctor if you've been someplace where infections are common. And I thought, isn't that the hospital? I'm at the grocery store. I signed up for their gas rewards program. I don't really know how it works. I get this card. I tell them my phone number. I get 10 cents off on a gallon of gas. But I think the card is just there so that poor people like me can feel like we're shopping at Costco. It's like, we made it, baby. We're members. Now we can push around toilet paper on a flatbed like we always talked about. It's going to be football season, or hopefully it's going to be football season. You know, I love football. I don't know if they're going to play it or not, but if they do, I will watch it. I love football. I love everything about football except for Super Bowl commercials. I'm interested in the game. Wouldn't it be great if your favorite team won the Super Bowl? You'd be so happy. You could get one of those championship t-shirts they give the players to wear. You could tell the fans of the other team to suck it easy. But most importantly, you will have had a reason to sit through all of those stupid commercials. When somebody says, I only watch the Super Bowl for the commercials. What they really mean is, I am going to get so shit-faced on Sunday. But all of our best football players, at the end of their career, they go to the Hall of Fame. And every player in the Hall of Fame has a bronze bust of their head. So I wonder if, like, in 1,000 years, if, like, archaeologists will excavate the Hall of Fame and think that these were our gods, that we worship them. They'll say, 1,000 years ago, in pre-Trump America, people set aside the fourth Thursday of November to celebrate the feast of Barry Sanders. And then came the nuclear war, which is a real possibility. We're living in dangerous times. Society could collapse at any time. And now is the time to start thinking about the hard choices, like asking yourself, how far would I go to survive? Would you turn to cannibalism? Would you? Would you? I would. I would. I wouldn't do it right away. I would wait at least 4 or 5 hours. Because I don't want to wait until I'm weak from hunger to make that first kill. I want to get it over with, get desensitized, so the screaming doesn't bother me anymore. And even if you're not very hungry, you don't have to, eat just a little bit, throw the rest away. There's millions of these things running around. They can't be that hard to catch. I told that to somebody and they said, aren't you worried about eating Americans? They're so fat. Aren't you worried you get high cholesterol? And I said, I'm here for a good time, not for a long time. I wonder, is there an alternate universe where Ted Nugent died young and is considered the greatest guitar player of all time, and Jimi Hendrix is a bitter old conspiracy theorist that everybody hates? What does Rob Zombie use to make chili? More cumin than cumin. I love rock music. I do. I really do, I think that Amazon should use You've Got Another Thing Coming by Judas Priest as the song for their commercials. And I love hard rock even when the lyrics don't make sense, Like Thin Lizzy. Tonight there's going to be a jailbreak somewhere in the town, but probably at the jail. I love going to rock shows. I went to one of the last ones that I went to before everything shut down was Eve 6 at the Top Hat. And Eve 6 is what Bozeman would be if Bozeman was a band. And I realize why I don't like the crowd at the Top Hat. It's for the same reason that I don't like the New York Yankees. Because they all look like cops. I'm used to going to a rock show where there's 200 people doing drugs and one narc. At the Top Hat, it's 200 people drinking IPAs and me. And it was a really wild show. I mean, the crowd was really just getting pushed around, and I got pushed backwards into this guy, and I felt like I ran into a brick wall. This guy was totally solid. And I turned around to look at him, and he had his arms crossed, and they came to like here on me. And I thought, whoa, this guy must be like 5'10". I was arguing online with someone about politics the other day. I know that's not a very smart thing to do, but I was doing it. And they accused me of playing pathetic liberal games. And I thought, pathetic liberal games, what would that be like? Would that be like Communopoly? Yes, We Candyland? Barack Paper Scissors? Bidens and Dragons? Trivial Pantsuit? Pac Manafort? Pokemonica Lewinsky? Safe Space Invaders? Sesame Street Fighter 2? Bad Hombre Hippos? Wait, don't deport me? Cards Against Sean Hannity? No, but I'm trying to be more eco-conscious, more eco-friendly. I've started buying all-natural foods and products which are just like regular foods and products, except that they don't taste as good or work as well, but that's okay because they're all natural. But there is one all-natural product that I really like to use. It's the all-natural yellow jacket killer. And I was at the good food store buying some the other day, and this lady came up to me and asked me, how well does that work? And I said, oh, it works great. It kills them dead right away. She said, no. I don't want to kill them. I just want to make them feel uncomfortable and unwelcome so that they leave on their own. And I said, oh, have you tried wearing a MAGA hat? All right, thank you very much. That's my time. My name is James Johnson.
All right, James, yay. Just a reminder for those at home, if you want to donate to the Black Lives Matter movement and also the ZACC, if you go to zootonearts.org, the event page on there, or the event page on Facebook, you can donate either places or both places if you want to feel adventurous. I also realized in my opening monologue, I didn't mention my face makeup. No, I did not get sneezed on by a unicorn. I don't know if it even shows up. I have glitter under my eyes. I did get my makeup done by a clown, though, so thank you. It's not a joke. Soleil is a clown. Yeah. Give it up for your next comedian showing up over here, Megzy J Rod.
Hi. Too pretty for this shit. You know what sucks? Is that this is the most attractive I'm probably ever gonna be. And I tell my kids that. I'm like, guys, appreciate this. This is the prettiest mommy's ever gonna look. And you know what? And why does it have to happen in the time of masks? I don't know, man. That's just the way the world works, okay? When they asked me to do comedy tonight, they told me that my jokes had to be PG-13. And I was like, the fuck does that mean? And I talked to my son about it, and he goes, that means you get one F-bomb. And I was like, oh. So I guess I'm out of those. Yeah, when they said only one F-bomb, I knew I couldn't drink tonight because when I drink, I don't control the F word. The F word controls me. You know what I mean? But they say that people who swear are more honest and trustworthy, you know? But I knew that if I drank tonight, I honestly couldn't trust that I wasn't gonna swear tonight. Couldn't, you know? And it's a weird time, you know? Like, you don't know what you're gonna have to ration. Toilet paper, swear words. It's this weird time. I never thought I'd have to ration my swear words. It's almost like a 12-step program for cussing. Because, like, one's too many and 1,000's never enough. I love cussing. Like, I've been cussing since I was a child, and I'm very good at it. I'm super proud of myself. I don't know if you can tell, but anyways, I've cut out cuss words for a period of time. A few times. Like, once I tried out for American Idol. I don't want to talk about it. But I stopped cussing for that. And then also, when I moved here, I stopped swearing because the kids were young, and I didn't want them to say bad words, you know? But, like, after a while, I was like, fuck it, you know? So I'm back to swearing. I try not to do it too much, but yeah, when I drink, the F word, I don't control it, it controls me, you know? But that's how I got this tattoo. So I have a tattoo here, I don't know how well you can see on this video. It says STFU, which stands for Southern Texas Farmers Union. That's what I told my kids. They didn't believe me because they're smart. I wouldn't have stupid kids, look at me, come on. You know, and the first rule about Southern Texas Farmers Union is shh. Yeah, you know. I always wonder, like, how the F word got such a bad rap, though. Like, what did it do? Did it, like, screw its best friend's mom? You know? Did it sell drugs to kids? Did it hoard toilet paper during a pandemic? I don't know. I don't know what it did, but whatever it did, don't do it. Yeah, let's see. I use notes because, like, I went to college and that's how life works. I don't know if you guys know. But anyways, okay, so when I prepared for this whole business, like, normally I swear a bunch because I do comedy in a bar. And everyone's drunk and they're over 21, so I could say whatever that I want, you know what I mean? And I do, I say terrible things. And I'm still going to, but I'm just gonna say it in a nicer way probably. But so I looked up the ratings and they're so silly. Like one of them was like, okay, so like if a man, about nudity, right? If a man's naked, or topless man, that's rated G, Matthew McConaughey, okay? But like if a woman is topless or completely nude, that's rated PG-13. Completely nude. And I think that maybe it's because like kids that young like just came out of a vagina and got off the tit, you know what I mean? I don't know, that's the only way I could rationalize it. Did you guys know that breast milk cures pink eye? I don't know if you knew that, but if you were a mom, you would probably know. But yeah, I mean, I'm a mom, but like, no kids ever came out of my vagina. I got amused, cause like, yeah, I love used stuff. You love it. I'm like a thrift store queen. Like, I'm not the kind of girl that's gonna be like, oh, I paid $100 for this dress. I'm gonna be like, this was a $148 dress that I got for $5, you know? And that's really something that was said just the last weekend, for real. And yeah, I like to brag about that stuff. So I got my car used, my husband, the dog even. Like, it's so great. Like, you don't want to get a dog where you got to be like, pee over here. You want a dog that already knows where to pee. Because, you know, you don't piss all over your shit. So, anyways, yeah, I got my kids used, and it's so great because, remember when, like, one of my major goals in life was to be a hot mom, and I don't know if you have eyes, but zing. But yeah, so anyways, I got my kids used, and the greatest part about it is that when you get there, they're already jacked up. Just like anything you get used, like your car or whatever, there's something that's like not perfect about it, and you're like, meh, I didn't do it. You know, like, it takes so much pressure off, because when you get something that's like perfect, you're like, oh dude, I'm gonna jack this up, you know? But like you get there, and then the kid or the car or the husband or the dog, whatever, the table, you know, whatever. It's already a little jacked, you know, and so you're like, oh, it's sick, it's still good, it's not my fault. It takes a lot of pressure off. One of my kids, my used kids, I used to pick her up everywhere, because that's what you do when you're a mom. I don't know if you know that, you're a taxi driver. You do a bunch of stupid stuff, but one of them is picking kids up, and it's lame. And so you pick them up, and then she's all awkward. She's like, oh, I don't know which car is yours, and she's nervous, and like, even though like, it's the same car, like memorize my license plate, fool, but she doesn't, so she's nervous. And then, so when I got a new car, I got a vanity plate that said Megzy on it, because that way I figured, like, if she can't tell which car is mine, I just need a new kid. You know? Not funny? Cool. I'm fine with it. It makes me laugh. These jokes are all for me. If you guys laugh, it's just a bonus. You know what I mean? Yeah, so, these kids. I don't think I need that. Okay, yeah. So anyways, being a mother of used children, I fulfilled one of my goals of being a MILF, which stands for Mother I'd Like to. I'm not going to waste that one. Yeah, you know what it means. And then what's really great, even beyond that, is that one of my used children had a child of his own, and at this point, I'm a grand MILF, okay? Yeah, believe it or not. Don't let the Botox fool you, people. Grand MILF. And the best thing about Botox, honestly, is that it improved my relationship with my kids, because they can't tell when I'm disappointed. I literally cannot scowl at them. Like, I tried, I'm like, the room's a real mess, but they can't tell that I'm mad. Like, it just fixes everything. Botox, get it. I recommend it. It's gross, it's poison, and they jam it in your forehead, but you know what? If it makes you less stressed and your kids like you better, do it. Yeah, so anyways. Okay, so I'm so incredibly attractive and humble, obviously, that a person that I apparently met 6 years ago sent me a photo, a topless photo, a male topless photo, G rating, okay? And he says, hey there, because that's what creeps say. Okay? Hey there. Yeah, like if you knew me, you wouldn't say hey there. You'd be like, yeah, what up? You know, expletive. And so anyways, this guy sends me this photo, and I say, you have the wrong number. And he goes, is this Megan? And I say, no, this is her husband. Because I like to F with people, you know what I mean? And he gets all, he's like, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't know you were married. And I was like, just kidding, it's me, but I still don't know who you are. Like, you're boring. And then, and then he goes on to say other things, you know, and then I was like, but I was joking about this being my husband, but actually I'm married and I have 3 kids. And he's like, how does that happen, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, obviously no one ever had this sex talk with you. So, and then I blocked him. But anyways, let's see. Yeah, I love bothering guys, because they bother me. You know, that it happens, guys. I mean, we're all annoying, to be fair. I'm not trying to, like, divide the sexes. We're all annoying. But when guys bother me, I like to bother them back. And when I was in high school, a guy was like, oh, Megan, will you go out with me? And I was like, yeah, I'll go out with you when you're taller than me. He didn't think that was funny, but I did. And then, you know, there was one guy that I nicknamed Mark the Mushroom. And it's not because he sent me, like, creepy dick pic or anything like that. It's just because he grew on me. And, thank you. And then there was another guy that I nicknamed Ugly Mike. And it wasn't, like, clever or anything. He was just ugly. So, anyways, but don't worry. Like, I know I seem really shallow, and but, you know, if there's a God or a universe, whatever happens, they invented a punishment for me. There's this thing called a cold sore. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but it was invented to take good-looking people down a peg. It works whenever the hell they show up, you know what I mean? So, yeah, the coolest thing about this pandemic is that if you do have a cold sore, it's great because you're, like, covering your face. No one can see you. They're not, like, staring at it awkwardly, pretending that they're not staring at it, because everyone knows they are. So, yeah, I mean, if it weren't for the pandemic, I actually considered converting to the Nation of Islam, just so that I could, like, wear a hijab and, like, cover the bottom half of my face. Get it? I don't know. But anyways, I was just like, shoot, I'm probably going to go to hell for that joke. But I'm not super sad about that because I hear they play Christian music in heaven and that shit sucks. You know, even God's like, guys, can we play something else? And they're like, well, what do you want to hear? And he's like, anything. I don't care. Like Creed, like freaking, what's the other band that sucks? Nickelback. Like, come on, guys. Like, just something. Come on, save me. And so, anyways, you know, probably go to hell. I'm too vain. Got a lot of problems. I figured tonight if I bombed, like, because, you know, like I said, I love to swear. I'm completely inappropriate. It's my mom's fault. She's my only parent. I blame her for everything. But, you know, I figured if I bombed tonight, I would just get totally naked. Because that's still PG-13, you know. But it wouldn't be funny because I look great naked. It would just make you guys feel sad. I'm Megan. Thank you. Megzy J Rod. Have a good night.
All right, Megzy. Yay. I thought STFU stood for something to fart under. Another one. It's another fart joke.
See the fabulous outside.
Oh, we're overstocked on farts. Our next comedian showing up at this microphone, I don't remember the exact details, but I met him very awkwardly, my own fault, and I'll never let myself live that down, even though I don't remember what the specifics are. Anyway, he's over there. He's Kaiser Leib.
Christian band, right? They're so bad. I love them so much. In Montana, the thing is that we do have an accent, and I thought that it was crick. I thought that was like our thing. It turns out that every place in the world thinks that they invented crick. Okay, but I want you to do an experiment. You people at home can do this too. What is the lid of a house called that has the shingles that keeps the rain and the snow off? Exactly, that's a roof. California, they say it like roof. It's so stupid. What about the parts of the tree that go underground and drink the water? What do you call those? Them are roots, exactly. Every place else in the country, they say roots. What does a dog say? Other states, dogs can't even talk. I don't know what is. Babies are stupid, huh? Babies are just tiny immigrants from the future. And sure, right now, they want like a handout and free healthcare, but you know that later on they are going to be stealing jobs from hardworking millennials. We should build a really tiny wall. I do everything that I can to avoid producing babies. You guys are out there wasting money on condoms and pills. I practice personality-based contraception. I'm like if the Walmart t-shirt section and a MacBook Pro got together and then that baby grew up and had a drinking problem. The drinking problem is kind of nice though, because the drinking problem is an excuse. Anytime I do something wrong, I can be like, hey, I'm sorry that I'm such an asshole. I abuse a mind-altering substance and it ruins my ability to process my emotions. And if I'm sober for too long, I have to say, hey, sorry, I'm an asshole. I'm an asshole. People got like a 12-step problem to stop abusing drugs and alcohol. Assholes, there's only a 1-step problem. Stop being an asshole. It's really hard. I've been dating a woman recently, or I've been seeing a woman recently. I once saw a woman. We were waiting for a train, and she tapped me on the shoulder, and she was like, excuse me, do you know which train that I should take? And I didn't know, so I just guessed. And then she still didn't leave me alone. She was like, I was wearing this guitar backpack thing, and she asked me whether I was a musician, and I would think that the guitar backpack thing would imply, anyway, I told her, yeah, you know, I play guitar sometimes, but it's mostly a prop for the stand-up comedy that I try to do. And she said, oh, you do stand-up comedy? Which I had just said. And so I didn't have anything to elaborate on that, and so I asked her what she did, and she told me that she was a musician because she sang, but she had just done a recital and nobody came to it. And I said, oh, that sounds like when I do stand-up comedy. And then I was truly out of things to say, and she was out of stupid questions, and we stood there awkwardly, but you can't just be like, okay, we're done now, right? Because we're both waiting for the train. And after several seconds of this, I decided that the way to handle the situation was to pull out my phone and start playing Pokemon Go. And she was really angry with this. She scoffed and she stormed off. But guys, it is Pidgeotos before hoes, okay? Every time I tell that story, somebody will come up to me afterwards and they'll be like, hey, Kaiser, that woman was hitting on you. I know that. I just don't know how to use that information to make my life any better. All right, dating is really weird for me because I'm a 33-year-old software engineer, but I have the daddy issues of like a 19-year-old stripper, all right? Anytime that I'm swiping through a dating app past 37 pictures of women on paddleboards, I am not just evaluating what type of music they like and what their zodiac sign is, I'm also trying to figure out whether they could put out a burning well in Kuwait during the 90s, because that's what I need to fill that hole in my heart. What is it about the paddle boards, by the way? Do you have a paddle board? No. Okay, the only time that I have seen paddle boards is on dating profiles. I've never seen one in real life. And this leads me to conclude that the paddle board is a strategy. Because women really like men who like women who like paddle boards. You following me? All right? It's like if you are 6 feet tall, if you have a 6-figure income, if you speak 6 languages. Why is it the number 6? Why is that also the thing? The only thing that 6 is not the right answer to is how old are you, right? The last thing that women tend to want is that they want your place to be clean. My place is not clean. I need help. I need like somebody's grandmother to come in and yell at me and get me to tidy up. I went on Craigslist to advertise for this. I said, "Dirty boy seeks mature enforcer to promote discipline." I was amazed how many responses I got to that ad, but I was also amazed at how expensive they all were. And I don't know why we would need a safe word. I think that if babies want to be here, they should get jobs and start helping out with the rent, right? And people are like, "But they can't do anything." That's not true. What you do is you get the little baby onesie, but on the front of it, it's got a dust mop. And so the baby crawls around and sweeps your floor. It's like a little baby Roomba. Except that the baby is only less expensive up front. Someday the baby's going to want to go to college. The Roomba is never going to want to go to college. Can you imagine if it did, though? Right? The Roomba comes to you one day and it's like, "Mom, I want to go to college." And you're like, "All right, what are you going to study?" "I'm going to study art history." And you're just sitting there thinking, where did I go wrong? And at the same time, you want to be supportive, and so you're like, "That's great." And Roomba goes and graduates. Turns out it has a real talent. It walks on the stage, and it's rolling over the robe with the little roller thingies, and it gets the diploma. And it goes out, and it finds out that there aren't really a lot of jobs for art history majors, whether or not you are a sentient vacuum cleaner. And so it has to get a job at Starbucks or something. Nobody laughed at that. Do you guys work at Starbucks or something? And after it's been there for 3 weeks, the boss comes to the Roomba and says, "Roomba, we're going to have to let you go. Your work area is immaculate, but you have not made 1 cup of coffee." The Roomba's all dejected, and it just rolls back to its parents' house, sits in its docking station. But I guess we should have expected that, right? Because when you're a Roomba, everything sucks. One of my friends came to me the other day and she was like, "I'm really worried because I think my parents might be getting a divorce." I was like, "Oh, look who has parents." That must be really terrible for you now that you live on the other side of the country and have your own place, that your parents are going to tell you that they love you with their still alive mouths from different buildings. Another one of my friends said that comment made him really sad because he doesn't have his own place. He has to live with his parents. I was like, "Oh, look who has parents." Must be really terrible that they give you a place to live in this economy. And the Roomba came up to me and said, "That made me really sad because I had to move back in with my parents too." I said to the Roomba, I said, that's actually really tragic, buddy. I hope things turn around and go better for you in the future. I think the best kind of catangles is rectangles. I like them, and buildings are them. And when the brickmen were building the buildings, they had a bunch of little rectangles, and they stacked them up to put them together. There's a place where people can live and they can work. It's great. I leave my apartment rectangle. I walk on a sidewalk made out of rectangles. I go to my work tangle. I ride the elevator rectangle up. I press rectangular buttons on a rectangular keyboard to make the rectangular lights on the screen change. And when I do a good job, my boss gives me rectangles. Ladies and gentlemen, clap really loud for August Ansley.
Forgot I was still wearing my mask. It's fine. Michaela, how drunk are you?
I'm not drunk enough.
Oh, well,
Another one.
hurry up. I'm missing it. Just a reminder again, if anybody's just tuning in, zootonearts.org, donate there, or go to the Facebook page, Zootone Arts Community Center, even $5. 70% of it goes to Black Lives Matter. Next comedian to the stage is Thomas Blake. Whee!
Hi everybody, how you doing? I have sold tickets to shows in the before times with fewer people than this, so I'm ready to have a great time. I've loved not talking to people, and now the world's slowly starting to come back together. So I found out all you gotta do is carry a clipboard, and you'll look annoying, and then people still won't talk to you. Because they're afraid you'll ask, like, are you registered to vote at your current address where you have filled out your census form? And you're just like, go away, August. I know you need the job, but clipboards, no. I'm sorry I did this to you. They put the software guys in a row. But I'm not good with money, and so like in December I did something you shouldn't do. I took like a lot of money from my 401k to pay off credit card debt from buying stupid shit. And then the stock market, boo, I did pretty well with that transaction. And people told me, they're like, man, I thought it was so dumb when you were just importing those bats with your credit card and making out with them and then sending them back to China. That was such a stupid use of your money, but look how playing the market has helped you. I'm like, yeah, you're welcome. Now you don't have to talk to people. It's great. No, I didn't cause the coronavirus as such, and now I can stand in the light so I can be seen. I forgot how to do comedy to the point that I'm like, I'm gonna stand over here in the dark. What if it was just Batman? Like Batman fighting a wild animal smuggling ring. They can't get at the 65-year-old ringleader, and Robin's like, what do we do? And Batman's like, we'll use the bat coronavirus. Got out of hand, Bruce. You know, if your parents weren't already gone, they could be at risk from your behavior here. That's not good, Batman. No, we used to like it. We used to like it in comedy when people had a contagious laugh, and it's not good anymore. And now you have comedy shows and you have to talk about the COVID. This is the last COVID joke from me. Now when people say my name after all this, they say, Thomas, and I say, I was on mute. You drive here from Bozeman, Montana, you gotta drive past a giant religious statue, because they love that over there. Makes me think there's another giant religious statue in Rio de Janeiro. You always see the Cristo Redentor they set up to pretend that your TV show is being shot there. It's not. It's Jesus. He's got his arms out. What that statue is about was the first time Jesus was pretending to be an airplane to entertain a toddler. Most depictions of him actually commemorate the last time he did that. I grew up Mormon, so like we had that Bible, but we skimmed it, and they tell us things like, oh yeah, we don't have crosses in our church, because you know it's just the thing that killed Jesus. We worry about his life in the PR, and you know, if Jesus had lived later and died from a firing squad, would we, in our houses of worship, in our homes, have guns everywhere? I'm here to tell you, didn't need to have Jesus go to a firing squad to have Christians worshiping guns. That's an unfortunate reality. What happened was, a man called Joseph Smith wrote a fan fiction set in the popular Bible universe. And as a result, I never got a taste for coffee. I have a lot of cousins, relatively speaking, but it's a good joke. In a room where someone gets a mess of politics, you can't even be like, I'm gonna vote for the guy who comes and gives a speech at the airport. Who's doing that? Who's that voter? Just like, this candidate, he came and gave a speech at the airport over there in Bozeman, see? But they had some ice cream, and it was the Tillamook ice cream. It wasn't the local Wilcoxons. And I don't like, that's disrespectful. So I can't vote for him. You are a moron. Okay, because your best friend Susan, she got a job out in Pullman. You always say you're gonna go visit her, but you never do. Like, she still calls you, answer. She tells you about how Dale isn't making her feel seen. And you just don't make it. I mean, she's not running for office, but she knows about local dairy. She's mailing you a can of Cougar Gold every Christmas. That joke was for one viewer on the internet who knows about the canned cheese from Washington State University. But I'm just gonna plug that, because that's a public school, so you should go buy their cheese in a can. That's not a joke, that's just good advice. I didn't get to tell my Mother's Day jokes this year because everything was shut down. And like many of you, I didn't send a Mother's Day card. If you had, we would have saved the Postal Service. I can't do it because my mom loves peppermint patty, and there's always a whole bunch of peanuts Mother's Day cards, but because of heteronormativity, they never have peppermint patty on them. She's not a lesbian, she's Mormon, so she's certainly not, but that's her favorite. And all the Mother's Day cards are nonsense, because doesn't anyone else's mom know when you're lying? Like, world's best mom, really? Really? Like, there's probably like 4 moms who get a world's best mom card, and they're like, oh yeah, that's plausible. My mom's out there, she did what she could. I mean, I'm a stand-up comic, so make your conclusions, but it's like, I don't know, world's best mom, probably have a door on your room instead of it being in the middle of the house for 6 years. Or like, world's best mom help you apply for a scholarship. World's best mom help you face the cameras instead of over here. Like, that'd be a good lesson. World's best mom, like, make sure you shower so you don't have permanent cooties by 14. That's the real pandemic, you guys. It's like by 14, I had a paper route. I wore my Dockers to it so that I could buy more Dockers to not wash them and not shower before school. That's a bad case of cooties. But it had started years earlier. You know, I'm 7 years old in a new school. I want to get close to a soothsayer, a 7-year-old girl, so I can learn the secret of folding the paper into a crystal ball to know how many kids the other kids will have. But I had cooties. Gotta stay away. Because our parents knew about herd immunity, and so we were vaccinated for the real things, except chickenpox. We didn't have that yet. And this vaccine, you know, it's very simple. It's a circle, circle, dot, dot. I was 2 months ago, years old, when someone's like, yeah, it's like a woman's breasts. They didn't say that, but those are the words we'll use in this context. It took me 27 years to find that out, but it doesn't matter. An adult cannot do the cootie shot. It can only be performed by someone before puberty. It's like a Vienna Boys Choir ditty in that regard. Cooties is all nonsense made up by adults anyways who are scared of gender norms changing. They're just like, you're a boy, you like trucks. You're a girl, you like dolls. You're a boy, you should follow the teachings of Joseph Smith. You're a girl, you should follow a man who follows the teachings of Joseph Smith. Or is that just me? You got the girl cooties. You don't want to get girl cooties from a girl. Then you get them, and then you could give them back as boy cooties. Oh, the adults are scared, because what are those? Trans cooties! Yes! Yes, trans cooties. Boy cooties, girl cooties, boy cooties. They're gender fluid cooties. They'll run down your arm. Your nails will be painted. You'll feel pretty. They'll aerosolize. You'll get droplets. perfect smoky eye. Terrifying. Terrifying. Only 40s kids know that cribbage is all about rhyming. When you count your points. Yeah, pairs 2 and knobs is 3. That's all for me. I'm Thomas Blake.
All right, Thomas Blake. Yeah. Our next comedian brought a life-size cutout of Shaquille O'Neal. Don't know why. I tried to bring it up here, but it's like seat-belted to the chair. I don't know what's happening. Are we getting it up there? Yeah. Bring it up here. The whole chair? This is going great. Let's bring the whole chair up here. Give it up for Shaquille O'Neal, everybody. Yeah. There we go. He's wearing his mask wrong. Rude. All right, everybody. This is way too long of a bit. Give it up for Abby Gillespie.
Hi, yeah, this is Shaq, and I'm definitely not supposed to have him. On the other side, it's another Shaquille O'Neal, but I cut him out a mustache. Just so there's 2 different faces to Shaq, you dirty slut. I just want all these viewers at home, I'm staring right into the camera. This is a comedian's nightmare, okay? We are going through fucking hell. Damn it, I was gonna wait to save that fuck. Damn it. All right, listen. This is like, there's 6, 7 people here, right? It's like 6 or 7 people came to your comedy show, except the whole world gets to see it. This sucks, and that's how fucking desperate we are to go on stage and get some fucking ego, okay? We are disgusting. We are whoring each other out. And I fucking love it. There's so many F's. Listen. Rated R. It's rated R here. All you guys are tuned out by now. You guys have dinner. Dad. No, just kidding. My dad doesn't talk to me, just kidding. No, Death and I are tight. When people bitch about 2020, I'm like, shut up. Because I have met Death, and he's kind of a douche. He's a comedian, though, that's for sure. Like, sometimes his humor is, like, a little off. But he scripted the perfect death for me. And it was during that crazy windstorm in February. And I was sitting in my car, FaceTiming a friend. I get off the call, I go in my house. 2 minutes later, it's the loudest sound I've ever heard in my life. And I wasn't in a rush, it took me 30 minutes to get out. And once I got out there was the biggest tree I've ever seen slashed on top of my car. It slashed my car, just in half, boom, done. And I was in there 2 minutes before that happened. And I was FaceTiming my friend, and my last words would have been, I don't know how this day can get any worse. Right? That was scripted for a comedian to die. Okay, I took that fucking fall for you guys. But it gets better because I wouldn't have died from the tree falling. It would have just missed, I'm convinced. And it would have been shooken up, and I would have found God. And I would be like, I'm changing everything. And then I would step out of the car and complete the cycle of all of the live wires that were draped upon the car, and I would have been electrocuted to death. Like, this is slapstick humor. This is real life piano falling from a building. And so I cheated death, and I mentioned that, which was dumb, because Death was like, "Aight, bitch." I had, a month later, the most vanilla overdose you can possibly think of. Okay, what does that mean? I'll tell you what that means. I OD'd on dextromethorphan, DXM. And what was that? Well, it's in cough syrup. Was I sipping lean? No, I was trying to get over a cold. Okay, and I overdosed. I went to the ER, and my family thought, yeah, she's gone. And so, after 2, Death's a comedian, and jokes come in 3s. So, I've been staying home. And while staying at home, I've been living the bachelorette life. And it's sick. I see why guys do this all the time. Ladies, just if you don't know what the bachelorette life is, it's living like no one's ever gonna visit your house. The fridge, disgusting. Pizza boxes, hi. And I do the sock sniff. I never thought I would digress in my life to the sock sniff, which is you smell a sock and you determine whether or not that sock is okay to wear for that day. And I do that. And you would think that if you smell some odor, you go, nah, I'm gonna have to figure something else out. That's not what happens. There's a couple follow-up questions. One of them being, what are the chances that someone's gonna take off these socks for me tonight? And then you can make your decision, okay? And I'm not saying like, oh, well, there's a 10% chance someone's gonna take off these socks. I would still do it. It would have to, someone could do 50%. There's a 50% chance a hot guy is gonna take off these socks. And I would really have to think about it. Yeah, I'd really have to think about it. But I've been on Tinder, and I've had so many guys start off and I'm not kidding. Ladies, please back me up on this. That start the conversation off like, hey, you ready for daddy? Yeah, it's fucking weird, okay? I don't start conversations like, you ready for mommy? Like, God. So I decided I'd play along a little bit. I mean, fight fire with fire. So I would respond, hey, Dad. And then we'll go out on a date, and I'll be like, you always do this. This is why Mom left you. I hate you. And then they don't do it anymore, okay? I am a hero. But there's a couple differences between bachelorette and bachelor life. One of them is when it comes to the porn rabbit hole, okay? When you've gone through and then you're feeling something more. When guys go down the porn rabbit hole, they never come out the same. They see some messed up stuff, okay? The worst things the world has to offer is in the rabbit hole for men when they go down and they watch porn, okay? Women, a little different, because when I went down the female porn rabbit hole and I hit rock bottom, and it was a black and white video of a woman trying not to climax while reading poetry. That's what women hit rock bottom with. Like, this is so artistic. We have, like, a Pornhub. It's like, there's so many. This is a research project. Are these women getting paid enough? Can I masturbate and not feel bad? Like, is she actually enjoying this? Where are your taxes? I need these tax records. So, fellas, when you live the bachelor life, I just want you to know, women are just as disgusting, but we're just less messed up. That's what I'm saying. Oh. I didn't think that was gonna hit a soft spot. The other thing is, I'm gonna call, you know what? I'm gonna be single for the rest of my life. I need to call out some all straight guys because they are convinced that they make the best scrambled eggs. All of them. Every single one. In the morning when you wake up, you like scrambled eggs? It's like, not really. They're like, it's really good. I hate that, okay? Like scrambled eggs. And men are like, I put a little something extra in there to make it yummy. It's like, it's milk. Everybody does this. Milk is not a secret ingredient. They should be fluffy. Like, your standards are so low. And if men invested themselves in making women orgasm the way that they invest each other making scrambled eggs, there would be world peace, okay? This shit would be shut down, all right? Shaq, you're disgusting. I'll just cover his eyes. Even when he's life-size, his head is still so big. Yeah, that's all I have. That's the end of the show. Abby Gillespie.
Abby, didn't we match on Tinder? We did.
Yeah.
I called you daddy. So that's the end of the show. He hasn't got enough camera time, so yeah, that's the end of this show. Like I said, 70% of whatever money that you at home donate will go to charity. And I realized that someone accused me of my activism being performative. Well, here we are. So this show, I won't be hosting the show next month, but there will be a nerd comedy show hosted. Are you hosting it, Amy? Amy is hosting it. September 12th, 8 p.m. We will be back probably, what? 7:30. September 12th, I think. I don't know. Yeah, so ZootownArts.org if you still want to donate, if you haven't yet, even $5, or Zootown Arts Community Center on Facebook. That's it. Black Lives Matter. We're living on indigenous land. Trans rights are human rights. I'm August Ansley. I would tell you to go home, but you're already there. I love you.